Welcome back. Still the Breakfast and Plus TV Africa, set to discuss youth employment and, of course, skill acquisition as it concerns tackling the brain drain, or what we call the Japa syndrome. Well, the federal government of Nigeria last week said it was seeking ways to stem the trend of Nigerians relocating abroad. That's what they said, seeking ways to end the trend of Nigerians relocating abroad. The government, underscoring the importance of job creation to this, also noted that it would work towards ensuring Nigerians were gainfully employed to discourage the need to travel abroad. This is according to the Minister of Science, or State for Science and Technology and Innovation, Henry Cole. Now, youth employment is said to be one of the most significant development challenges facing governments and development partners in Nigeria. According to the National Bureau of Statistics data from 2014 to early 2020, the youth employment rate was at an average of 25.87%. However, with the rise of COVID-19 pandemic, by the second quarter of 2020, unemployment rates spiked amongst all demographics. For the youth, it increased from 40.8% in April to June 2020 to 53.4% in October to December 2020. A number of government initiatives and programs have been created to address the issue of youth unemployment, but these have achieved little to moderate success so far. Now, joining us this morning to talk about, job creation as a way of stemming the brain drain in Nigeria, we have Ambrose Igboke, who is a public affairs analyst. Mr. Igboke, thank you very much for your time. The issue of brain drain has been on the increase. It spiked recently because of the Japa syndrome. Nigerians leaving the country in droves to escape economic situation, economic hardship, and insecurity. Shutdown of universities due to strike, and basically looking for a better life. Do you think that it's all about job creation and skill acquisition, or is there more to this?
Well, first of all, let me lay the background to state that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even up to the 80s, that you travel overseas. Okay,
we have lost Ambrose Igboke. We apologize for that. The network may not have been too kind to us. We'll get back.
I said in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, Nigerians went overseas to just study, gain knowledge, and they are in a hurry to always come back to bring that knowledge and expertise they have learned in Europe, America, that we used to go to Soviet Union, and they used to come back to, practice what they have learned. Anybody that travels then is in a hurry to come back. Why? Because we have a country that was working. We had a good economy. In fact, Nigeria was higher than the dollars as at early 80s. Naira was higher than the dollars. So you are earning higher when you come back to Nigeria. So there was no something interesting or enticing about working in the United States of America or Europe or anywhere. Because home, Nigeria, was better. There was electricity, there was housing. My uncle, who did that same thing, I came back from metallurgical engineering, master's metallurgical engineering in 1980 to do youth service. Worked in Delta State Company, Onwe Alaja. And till today, he has not paid house rent. There was house waiting for you as a graduate. So nobody was interested in this Japa syndrome. People who even went there to study came back home because you had a working economy. You had an economy that was into production. We were producing crude oil, we were producing agricultural products, we were manufacturing sugar, we were manufacturing textile, we were selling iron and steel, we had assembly plants for auto manufacturing, we had shoe manufacturing plants, we were processing rubber in Bendel State, Oil Palm Research Institute, NIFO is there. We had all sorts of things working in Nigeria. It was a fully production country. We had the NNS, the shipping line, Nigerian shipping line. We had the Nigerian Airways. We had everything working. And expatriates were coming here. We are the only country in the world, in the recent history, that created a new capital. And the whole world was saying it's not going to work. In 1976, we created a new capital different from Lagos, and we went in there and built a new capital from a forest called Abuja, ICT. And we did it. That was because we were focused, we had resources, and because of the manufacturing nation. Now, when the structural adjustment program came in the 80s by IDB, we started losing it. Let me tell you, textile industry in Nigeria was the second highest employer of labor after government. Today, we have lost that textile industry fully. We are importing all sorts of products from China, even our Ankara that is our local, we are importing from China. We are importing Okoroko that we used to create, we are importing from Norway. We are importing toothpick. If not that the government of Olusegun Obasanjo between 1999 and 2007 banned the importation of toothpick and canned drinks. All these canned drinks, canned beer, canned small drink, and we are taking that are being produced in Nigeria, were being imported. Because the Olusegun Obasanjo government has said, no, cancel this. Even some fruit juice that we see today, I don't want to call brands. Some of them were banned from the importation, and they were forced to have partnerships with Nigerian companies, and they are producing all of them in Nigeria. So it's about policy. We have moved from a production nation to a consuming nation. And once you do that, you start losing job opportunities. So you are right to say that if there is no job, if there are no employment opportunities, there is no job, there is no economic power, and people start looking for greener pastures. But if you're a producing nation, then the green pasture is here. People stay here and make all sorts of economic headway. Civil servants were buying brand new cars in the 80s. A car was 1,000 something. As of 1983-84, you could put a Peugeot car for 2,300, a Volkswagen car for 2,300. There was a Volkswagen plant that was established, I think, in 1978 in Lagos. And Anamco was assembling Mercedes-Benz cars in Anambra State. Peugeot was being assembled in Kaduna. We had the steel plants to support this manufacturing of vehicles.
All right, quickly, Ambrose, because we have little time, what do we then do, especially at a time where you have Canada as a country who's actually unveiled their plan to receive migrants from other parts of the country, including Nigeria, by 2025. We're looking at about 1.45 million persons. How do we solve the problem? Is there anything that we can do now, short term and long term?
There is nothing we can do now. The only thing we can do in the short term is to ensure that in 2023, we vote in people that can bring in policies that will make this country shift from a consuming nation to a productive nation. We have to wake up all our expertise. For example, where are the technical schools? The technical schools are dead. The government college, technical colleges. I remember one in Enugu, GCC, there's one in Ikorodu. There's different places in the country that produce mid-level manpower. The polytechnics that were supposed to also support that process have been turned into arts and social sciences and management sciences. So we need to reawaken that. We need to also ensure that we stop, even the primary thing we are producing, we can't even refine here. So we have to start refining that because of creating jobs. We have to revive the sugar industry and not importing bulk sugar. We need to start manufacturing again sugar in Nigeria. And then all this macroeconomic production, like textiles, has to be awakened, sugar manufacturing, steel plants, and all those things. These are the things that will need heavy job. But in the meantime, we need to be very careful on the kind of leadership we elect in 2023. And by the way, our best brains are leaving the country and they are not coming back. The doctors are going. There will be a time the ratio of doctors to patients and nurses to patients will be looking for them. We can't find them. Therefore, it is time to go back to what we used to go and try to revive this country. Else, the brain drain and the migration will be such that by the end of the day, we will have nothing left.
All right. Ambrose Igboke, thank you so much for your time. And of course, for your expert analysis, as always. We appreciate you for joining us all the way from Enugu.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You're welcome, sir. This issue of brain drain and Nigerians escaping the situation in the country called Jackpine will not end today. We'll sure have opportunity to talk about it some more.
Yesterday,
Yeah, you know.
yesterday I actually got a message from, an amazing human who, just sent me a message. I finally jackpot.
Oh, wow.
We should put it, it's like,
Finally, you should frame that, just put it on your status.
I did.
Well,
Finally jackpot.
Yeah.
And I felt heartbroken because she's such a beautiful soul. But of course she's gone.
She's gone, to enjoy snow, enjoy a stable environment.
Guess where she went to?
Canada.
Exactly.
Yes, and enjoy cold weather. I have my thoughts on this. I think that Nigeria just needs 2 or 3 things, and just 2 or 3 things, and the country will become a sweet place again. But those who have jackpot will have to play catch up when they come back, because those who are here would have gone ahead. So before you jackpot, for me, I'm not a bandwagon person. When I say people going this way, I always go the other way.
It's very obvious.
Because sometimes when everybody's going this way, most times it's actually
No,
wrong.
but you wouldn't. I don't think that there's even time to blame, because naturally it's just a default setting for humans. We would always want to find means of survival, and that's what it is. It's just a natural instinct, and trust me,
Yes.
you don't want to begin to blame those who are here. But
I don't blame
really,
them.
everybody's thinking about the present. That what you're talking about is the past, and so people are saying, how can I, like now? What can I do now? And maybe when they get to
It's
the bridge,
hard.
they'll
You're right,
definitely
Mercy.
cross.
But what I always tell people is, as much as you can, don't be survival minded. Be vision minded. If you are survival minded, you just want to survive. But if you're vision minded, you know that if you can go through certain difficulties, keep your eye on the goal, you get there. See, when you travel abroad, for most people, there's only a level to which they can explore. You can't go beyond living probably middle class life. So it depends on what your goals are. We have to go. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. Sports is up next. Please stay with us.